great. So now we've got Southpaw Pete's Pickup wants to know, why did they call Joe Gallo Joe the Blonde?
Joe Gallo, Joe the Blonde. I mean, he probably had blonde hair. Maybe he had blonde hair when he was younger, Joey the Blonde. I don't know. You know, when I was young, my hair was very, very light. And they used to call me Sammy the White Owl. Who? Sammy the White Owl.
Is that a true story?
It's a true story because my hair was very light colored.
Oh, I'm not going to let you live that one down.
Yes, Sammy the White Owl.
Okay, I'm going to mess up this name, but Gib Keiko? I don't know how to say that, but Sammy, what was Chin like in real life?
Chin was a real, no-nonsense, tough guy. I had a few sit-downs with him, meetings and stuff. I liked him. I liked him a lot. Had a ton of respect for him. You know, he wasn't a backstabber type of guy or anything. You know, he said what it is, you know, and you understood it. And if you broke his rules or something, you were in trouble. He didn't play games with you. And I have a lot of respect for people like that. You know, some people say one thing, they do another thing, but he was pretty cool.
Okay, great. And then going back to the super chats, Trish Shoemaker would love to know, did you know Jeffrey Epstein? If so, what's your opinion on the statement made by Pam Bondi?
I didn't know him. I mean, I heard of him like everybody else. I never knew him. And I don't even know what Pam Bondi said. What did Pam Bondi say about him?
I don't know if he's referring to how Pam Bondi basically said that she would release the files, and then now after they're saying they're not there, that she's now saying that there is nothing to be released.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Listen, I think Pam Bondi's great. I always liked her even when she was an attorney general or something in Texas or wherever she came out of. She says there's an envelope, sealed envelope, whatever. And she had it. So now she's saying, not that the envelope's not there, there's nothing incriminating for her to talk about. So she can go in there, she can say some stupid shit. And what's they're saying? Trump met him once. Who cares? Just because he met him, that don't mean nothing. That doesn't mean he did anything. So you have to go into that envelope, Pam Bondi does, and she has to look for evidence. If there's evidence of something, I'm sure she didn't hide it. But if she hid it, then she should be in trouble. But I don't think she's hiding it. She's just saying there's nothing there. In her mind, she's an attorney general and a lawyer. So she's telling you there's nothing there, no evidence, nothing, to jump up about. Now, you can't just make accusations as attorney general and stuff. So, I happen to have a lot of respect for her. So I think she's on the up and up.
Vu V said, does Sammy remember the time I bumped into him and said, well, I oughta, and he said, you oughta what? I said, I oughta be more careful.
Vuvi, I don't remember what you said. I didn't know your name because I would definitely remember that. But it was cool. I'm not even going to answer that. It was cool. You're a cool guy, Vuvi.
Okay, James Trowbridge says, do you consider being feared the same as being respected?
I think you need a combination of things to be loved. To be loved. You need a little bit of fear. You need respect. And then you could love someone. I think my wife feared me a little bit. I think everybody with my background feared me a little bit. But what respect I showed and how I conducted myself with people turned into love. And that's more important than fear or anything like that. The combination of things, loyalty, respect, a little bit of fear. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of fear. You know, I could fear a woman. I could fear that if I do X, Y, Z, she's liable to get mad at me, not talk to me, turn on me, whatever. So I should fear her a little bit. Everybody should have a combination of things that go into love. And once you hit that point, you got it made.
Chaos Goblin again wants to know, what is your fondest memory of Frankie DeCicco?
And listen, I love the guy. There's so many memories with him. Every time I had a problem and I turned around, I would bunk right into him. He was there to help me, talk to me, advise me. He was older than me, and he was like, my big brother died before I was born, so I didn't have a brother. And I think Frankie, in my eyes, to me, he was like a big brother to me. He was family. He was more than just a friend. He was always there. I know a family member of mine had a problem with their family. He pulled out of the meetings. He didn't want to have no part of the meetings because it would have been against me. So you guys straight it out. I'm not going to get involved. And every time he was a tremendous friend.
Someone said they'll give you $500 if you moon the camera right now, but we're not doing that.
No, I'm not going to moon the camera.
We'll give you a private one if you want to donate that to the Texas. Just kidding. But I've got a question for Josh Ayub. Did you and Allie Boy ever discuss things that were going on in each other's families?
Me and Allie Boy and my Gumbada, we discussed everything. Everything and anything. We didn't hold secrets from each other. He was godfather to my daughter. We were family. That's what Gumbada is. He was godfather to one of my family members. I mean, you know, here's how close we were. We would come in, play cards. We were broke when I was young. And we didn't even have food in the refrigerator. He would open up the refrigerator and he would scream to my wife, who was laying on the couch watching television, hey, Deb, get off your fat ass and go buy some food. So nobody could talk to my wife like that but him. Because if we were family, we talked like that. It didn't mean anything. It wasn't a bad remark. It was just, you know.
Okay, back in the super chat, we've got JB Weld. Did you let your kids make friends with other made guys, kids, or did you shield them from them? I guess this kind of goes hand in hand with that last question.
Yeah, they made friends with other people's kids. Kids are kids. They don't want to know about the Mafia. If they like a guy or a guy likes a girl and they want to date or they want to hang out, they don't give a shit. Your father's a gangster here or my father's a gangster. They learned that later in life. But I never interfered with anything like that. Never.
Okay, Amina,
Unless she was going to marry Roy DeMeo's son, I would have told my daughter, no, skip this one. You may not survive this wedding.
Exactly. Okay, Day in the Life would like to know, if you have a table of people from your past, who would you want to have at the table with you?
I think this is an easy one. I mean, Tato, Charlie Boy, Stymie, my Gumbada Alley Boy, even Louis Molito. There's a lot of guys, Frankie DeCicco. There'd be a dozen guys, maybe more. When I pray to God that when I go, that I bunk into them, and that I'm sitting at their table. I hope if I die, God says, that's going to be your table. And I sit with them again, I would really be in heaven. All right, God.
That would be some great storytelling in heaven.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so Omar would like to know, have you ever been to Disney World? This is in the super chat.
Yes. I've been there. I took my kids there. I'm not sure if it's Disney World or the one in Florida.
Yeah, that's
Is that
World.
Disney World?
Yeah.
Then I took my kids there 1 year, and it was great. It's exhausting. A lot of walking, waiting on rides and this and that and the other thing. But it was fun. The kids were in heaven doing it.
Exactamundo says he shook down Mickey Mouse.
I can definitely see that. Matt, do we have anything Instagram, TikTok?
I actually just saw one, Sammy. That kind of went a little bit hand in hand with what you were just saying. Somebody literally just asked, "Have you ever accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior?"
Yes, I always believed in God. To that extreme, though, Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. When I got baptized last September, that's exactly what I felt. That's exactly what I knew I was doing. So, yes. I mean, and early in my life, I wasn't, I always believed in God. I just didn't believe in certain religions. I'm very content now. Like I said, I just went away for a week in California, and I went to the Ocean Church. The pastor wasn't there. A new pastor was there, an Australian guy. He was great. I love the meeting. When I'm here in Arizona, I go to a church out here, and I've met so many people, all good people. That's another thing I see, and I don't do all of the things. They jump up and down and they clap and they do certain things. I'm starting to jump a little bit every now and then. But, yeah.
Gib KCOC1 wants to know what language was mostly used in the business, Italian or English.
What?
So basically, what did you guys speak? Italian or English?
I spoke English. I know all the Italian curse words, but I spoke English.
Stacy Starr, Sammy, what is one thing you miss about your life in the Mafia? If you miss anything in the Mafia.
Because I missed my life in the Mafia. It encircled so many good people and so many good things. I can't, there was a lot of evil, but I can't make the evil overcome my love and affection for people I had. There was tons of good people there. And especially when I knew their families, I knew their wives, I knew their kids. I loved them with a passion. So I look at the Mafia, I think of them. I think of Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. What a beautiful place to grow up. Everybody knew each other. Everybody was your uncle or your dad or something. Even neighbors who had different nationalities, different races. We all cared about one another. So those are my Mafia days. And I can't erase them. I don't want to erase them. I still have people who knew me from 40 to 50 years ago. The girls will tell you that. I still get calls from them. And why would I erase that?
Someone is spamming the chat because they want to know what happened to Paul's mansion after the hit.
Well, his family lived there for quite a while, and then it was sold. And some guy bought it, remodeled the whole place. It was a mansion. It really was a mansion. I think there was a 6 or 8 car garage. It was a mansion.
Okay. You got a generous envelope from Alex P. in your super chat.
Thank you, Alex.
Roger Barker says, please tell Sammy I said hi from Kentucky.
Hi from Kentucky.
Mr. Manchester says, can you tell a story about Joe Doherty?
Who?
Joe Doherty?
Joe Doherty is that the Irish guy who? Yes. All right. So I did time with Joe Doherty. I call him Doherty. I did time with him. Downstairs from MCC, he became like an author. He was writing for a magazine or a newspaper, and he would write an article every week going out. They named the street downstairs right around the prison. Doherty Square. Imagine that. What he was in jail for is that he was with the Irish Republic Army. They always fought. He was in prison there. He broke out of prison. On the way out, he shot a guard. He killed the guard. The guard was Margaret Thatcher's nephew. He snuck into the United States. He got arrested in the United States. Margaret Thatcher wanted him so bad, but he had appeals and everything. She couldn't get him out of the country. George Bush Sr., not the junior, Sr., when he was the president, when he lost the election, he was ready to go. He released Doherty back to England, and England put him in one of those prisons where they put all the Irish Republic guys. So I knew him very well. He was in a cell right across from me. I would see him every day.
Dave in Pittsburgh wants to know, Sammy, who decides when to close or open the books to make new members?
Usually if the commission shut it, like it did in 1965, I think it was, or 55, the commission met and they decided to open it. When they opened it, they said, let's make 10 guys per family. They did it. It worked out very well. And then they left it open.
Okay. Let's see. We have another question. Oh, hey, it's the warden. Warden's in the house.
How you doing, Warden Hood?
He says, what are your thoughts on renovating Alcatraz or using the alligator-infested prison in Florida to replace the ADX in Colorado? And then he said, President, AG, and BOP director never visited the ADX.
Yeah, I think replacing the ADX is better. I think the Alcatraz prison, and you would know this better than me, Warden Hood, is, you would have more interaction with each other in that prison. I mean, you can't break out. Where are you going to go? You're going into the jungle, you're going to be eaten by alligators. So you're going to stay there. They don't need that kind of security. They're not locked down. They could move around. They could get jobs in there, I guess. It may be an upgrade.
Betty, not Betty Ann, but Betty, in the chat, going through chemo treatments. So we just want to wish her well. And
my heart is with you, Betty. My prayers are with you. My heart is with you. I had cancer 3 times. I beat it all 3 times. I hope you beat it. Whatever God did for me, I got it in early stages, so I don't know what kind you have. I think you know the story of the old man Peruta who died of cancer. It broke my heart. So stay well, stay strong, and look out. There's all kinds of treatments and drugs now for cancer. Don't sit back, do your research, and go wherever they're doing experimental drugs. Joe Rogan talks to people who have cured. Look into the Joe Rogan show. Maybe you could even send him some, go on his show. Not on his show, I don't think you can get in, but you could probably text him into the show and tell him what you got. And tell him I said, if he knows anything that could help you.
JB Weld has another question in the super chat. He said, what were some lesser known skims your crew was into?
Skims? Or scams?
Scams. I think he meant scams. He just wrote skims.
What kind of scam?
I'm like, skims? Are we talking Kardashians?
Yeah. If the scams, listen, my crew was into a lot of things with construction. And you know what it is? when you're the boss of a crew or you're a boss in an area, it seems like they follow you and what you're doing. They get to learn it, and they'll make a connection. I could help them with their connection or their job. So they're into things like that. I didn't want drugs with my crew, so that kind of pushed them away, especially after I killed Nicky Cowboy and Joe Michael the Bat for doing drugs. They knew not to take drugs. So not only take drugs, but sell it. So when you came around me, a guy, Joey Senna, was in prison. He came out, he wanted to be with me and this and that. And I said, Joey, I haven't seen you in 15 years. I can't bring you into my crew right away, but I will tell you this, because you were a drug dealer, that's why you went away. You took drugs, I know, in prison. I don't want drugs with me. There's a lot of guys who do drugs. Go with them. Because if I tell you not to do drugs and you do it, as much as I grew up with you, as much as I like you, I will kill you. So go with somebody else, bro. And that's what he did.
Gib back in the chat wants to know, what was Sinatra like, and was he connected, and which family?
Sinatra was a great guy. He was connected with the Genovese people, the Genovese family. I remember I was a kid. I went to this restaurant, the Wagon Wheels. A friend of his owned it, and he would go there all the time to boost his friends. When he was there was hundreds of people. You couldn't even get into the place. We walked over to a table. There was an actress. I don't remember her name. Big actress, good looking, very famous. And she complained about it. She says, get these young punks away from here. And he told her, quote unquote, shut the fuck up. You get up. And he threw her out off of his table and made her sit down. I never forgot that. I had a tremendous respect for him for that. He didn't look at us as young punks, just young kids, wannabes, whatever we were. And for her to look down her nose and say things like that, he got upset. And I know that John sent Joe Watts to abuse him one time. And I remember that Chin gave him a call and said, listen, don't fuck with him. He's a good guy, he does a lot of favors, and you know he's been with us forever. It ain't, it's not your place. I remember the message that came back, and because John, he was insulted. But, I told him, bro, he's with them. If we have a guy out there and somebody abuses him, we're going to send him a message like that. But Chin didn't give a fuck. He'll send you a message and tell you how he feels.
JB Weld back in the super chat says, if I have a beef at work, can I say I'm with Sammy? Let me know, boss.
But sweet ass, bro. You tell him.
There
I'm
you
with
have
Sammy.
it, JB Weld.
That's absolutely. Tell him that.
Chaos Goblin wants to know, was there a death in the Mafia during your time that you would say changed the Mafia forever?
I think there was quite a few of them, a lot of heavyweights. I think Paul's murder changed the Mafia, like a lot. I was on the hit, but John took the Mafia, our family at least, not the whole Mafia, but our family, in a very bad way, in a bad position. I think if you look back, we would have probably been better off with Paul still running the family.
So, do you remember Don Rickles?
Yes, I do.
So, Oli Sig in the chat says, hey, Sammy. Hey, from Iceland. Did you ever meet the legendary Don Rickles? If so, how did you like him? I heard he was invited to dinner by Joe Gallo the night Joe was killed, but refused.
Yeah. Well, he was a comedian, and I don't think he would have thought that night was funny. I think he was happy he missed that night. But Joe Gallo had a lot of. He was going out with an actress too. He had a lot of friends in Hollywood, women and men both. The night I was supposed to kill him, he was with a beautiful model actress. I don't know what she was. She was drop dead gorgeous.
Alejandro Aramendia. Hey, Sammy. Greetings from Spain. How was the relationship with the Sicilian families back in your days? How often did the Gambinos or other families have businesses with them?
With Spain?
No, with Sicilian families. He's saying hello from Spain. He's in Spain.
We had a lot of things in Spain going on. A lot of drugs were smuggled in when you go back in time to Spain. Spain is a beautiful country, a good country. They didn't have the scrutiny that other countries had. So a lot of times when drugs from Italy were shipped in, they went through Spain, they went through France. When they went through France, they sent it to Canada because there was a lot of French. They didn't have scrutiny that much either. And Spain was another country like that. And I know the guy, Sally Dogs, he was a captain in the Genovese family. He had a house there. And he used to tell me, he says, Spain is absolutely gorgeous. The women, the whole 9 yards. It was on my bucket list. I always wanted to go to Italy and Spain both, but I never made it.
Okay, let's get everybody to hit that like button, guys. And we are going to wrap it up for this week. You want to take us out, boss?
Yeah. Before I end and say goodbye, the Convoy of Hope is really helping people. The people in Texas got hit again this morning. 100 and something people died. And they need everything, no, money, whatever it is. But the Convoy of Hope has really been doing them good. The leader, if you do it through the leader in Arizona, his name is Jamie. Honest guy, honest people, and they've been helping those people. And it's not just them. I caught them now, but they've been doing this for a long time, and probably in the future they'll be doing it as well. So the Convoy of Hope, look into them. We're going to send you all of their information, and they're helping people all over the place. As a born-again Christian, if I don't say this and talk about it and try to help people, then it's all bullshit. I failed at what I'm trying to do and trying to change my life. That's part of my legacy that I can't get out of as a mafioso. But my other part of my legacy is a born-again Christian and helping people as much as I can. It's not that I wouldn't smash you in the fucking face anymore. I would. But I would do it with God's hand. I can't do that? All right, guys.
Wait, hold on. Before you sign off, everybody in the chat, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Sending you guys much love and respect. And thank you guys for showing up and showing love and respect to Sammy. Sammy, sign us out.
All right. Adios, motherfuckers.
All throughout Central Texas, families are waking up to see that once again the water has risen and floods have ravaged their communities.
This is San Saba, and our community was affected by this flood. Many homes are completely damaged. It's a very big disaster.
For these families, it feels like this nightmare will never end. How will they recover? How will they rebuild? How will they move on?
Because when natural disasters happen like this, people give up hope. Any little bit of a gift is still a gift of hope for these people. They don't deserve what happened to them. They don't.
With your help, Convoy of Hope is here, bringing truckloads of the food, water, cleaning supplies, and more that these families desperately need. Your support means that those hit once again by these historic floods can know that they are seen, loved, and that hope is here.
Convoy of Hope out here They've been here very supportive of us. They made this happen. They came to our community when we needed them.
Join us as we come alongside the most impacted communities at their darkest moments. Together with you, we will be here for the long haul to make sure that hope is delivered where it's needed most.